Do men feel impossible to read at times? With all of his words and actions, do you still find yourself confused on whether this is real or part of some big plan to get in your pants? Good news, I'm going to clear up all of that confusion for you today because on today's show, we're going to be discussing 7 rare things men only do if he loves you. That way, you never have to question if this is part of some larger game or if his actions are coming from a real, genuine place. Welcome to the Players Club. If you're paying attention to me and everyone else in the live stream, please say here present so that I know you're here, present and actively participating. Welcome all of you, beautiful souls, on a Friday afternoon. Okay, or Friday night for some of you, or maybe even a Saturday morning. How are you doing? Okay, I see we got over in the YouTube chat, we got Enlightened A, our OG. Of course, she's here. We got Ivy, our YouTube member. Of course, she's here. We got Tracy Niles, another YouTube member. Of course, she's here. Who else we got? We got Ashley. I think Ashley wasn't here yesterday. I remember everything. Okay. We got Teddy as well. I see in the YouTube chat, we got Sweet. Who was first today? It was Tracy. Shout out to Tracy in the YouTube chat. She was the first person to leave a comment in the YouTube chat. She was right on time. And I see Special K and Sweet here as well. Shout out to all of you. And of course, shout out the most, oh no, Missy America's not here. Sad face. Yeah, Missy America has Friday off. Okay, so nice to see all of you in the YouTube chat. Who we got in the TikTok chat? I see Aaliyah here. I see Arzu. Okay, I see Davey. Who else we got? I think I saw SH earlier. Yep, SH is here. Is Sharice here? I believe Sharice is here. Okay, and is Brianna here? I don't know if Brianna's here. I think Brianna was here yesterday. I see Jocelyn, Fatima, Cheyenne. Okay, welcome all you beautiful souls. It's so good to see you here, and I'm glad to have you here. Scotty here in the TikTok chat. Scotty's usually here every day. Okay, let's get started. You know we have lots and lots to discuss today. And, you know, we're going to get deep into it. And we're going to have some fun today. Today's Friday. I know that we've been talking a lot about negative aspects of men. It's been a lot of negativity. I've been trying to help you be more skeptical of men so that you can be able to read situations out. But I also want to bring a little bit of light and positivity as well. So today we're obviously going to be discussing a more positive topic, which is how the things that men are going to do when they actually love you, so that you can also know not just what you're not looking for, but it makes it that much easier to identify when a man is acting the right way, that you in the line of the things that you are or should be looking for. Okay, so number one, okay, we're going to be talking about adjusting behavior. Now, I talked to you guys about this in previous shows, but this is going to be a dedicated show for this particular concept. Now, one of the main things that you're going to notice between a man who actually is invested in you and loves you and wants to build this relationship and a man who's not real, not genuine, and doesn't care about you is going to be that he is going to be willing and going to actually be adjusting his behavior. Now, what I'm referring to when I say adjusting behavior is obviously when you're growing in your relationship with people. Obviously, as you're growing and learning people, things aren't going to be absolutely perfect. Anyone selling you on the idea that your relationship is perfect with no issues is lying to you. That's a side note. But what I want you to understand is that, of course, you guys are going to have disagreements. Of course, not everything is going to be peaches and cream. Of course, everything's not going to be sunshines and rainbows. Now, the thing about it is, it's not necessarily in the relationship. It's not about him never making a mistake, never making you upset, never making you sad, or never doing something that you're like, I don't like that. I would want an apology for that, or I expect an apology for you treating me that way. It's not about him never doing that. What it's really about is the ability to identify that he did something wrong. The ability to use his critical thinking skills and say to himself, I know I wronged you. I also know how I wronged you. And even more importantly, I have came up with the bright idea on how I'm going to make sure that we never put ourselves in this situation ever again. Because I know that part of the reason I wronged you, or part of the reason you were upset, is because I took this course of action. So if in the future, I don't want you to continue to be upset about this same thing, I'm going to have to figure out a strategy that we no longer have to see the same issue, meaning I'm going to have to take a different course of action, i.e. his ability to adjust his behavior. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to change his entire personality for you, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean that overnight he's going to try and turn into a different person. That's not what I'm talking about, and that's not what I want you to be trying to encourage. What I'm talking about and referring to is the ability to understand that if I'm going to be in a relationship, and the maturity, I should even say, to understand that as a man, if he's going to be in a relationship, he understands he can't just do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, however he wants. And your peace, and we'll actually talk about your peace in a little bit, your peace is going to be important to him if he truly loves you. Your happiness is also going to be important to him if he truly loves you. Now, if he's trying to use you and he just wants to take advantage of you, it's not going to be that important. But if he truly loves you, it will be important. So when you tell him that something's bothering, or even better, you show him that something's bothering him because you've withdrawn from him, he's going to say to himself, I don't like when you've withdrawn from me. I don't like when you're upset with me. I don't like feeling as if you're distant from me. I want to return to a state in which I feel your affection, in which I feel like you care, in which I feel like you love me and you're present in this relationship. In order for me to return and us to return in that state, I must figure out how I'm going to adjust my behavior so that you're happy with me, you're happy with this relationship, you're at peace, and I'm at peace as well. These are part of the things guys will be more than willing to do for you if he actually loves you, okay? This is why I say they're rare things, because truthfully and honestly, not every guy that you're ever going to date is going to show you these things. Only the guys who genuinely care about you and genuinely have a real strong feelings towards you and love you are going to be showing you these things. This is why they're rare. Okay? Are you guys following me so far? Okay. Rabia says, why are you always live? Just post videos? Then just watch those videos. Don't watch the live if you only like the videos. Everyone has a choice, including yourself, beautiful soul. Okay, so adjusting behavior is so important, right? Someone says these things are also applied during a talking stage. Well, think about it. Be logical. This is where I want you all to use your brain. Be logical. Is a man supposed to be in love with you during a talking stage? Answer that question for yourself and then figure out how that would relate, okay? So I'm not saying that a guy you're in a talking stage with would never do any of these things for you, but when I'm talking about things a man will do if he loves you, don't be expecting the guy that you went on a first date with to be showing you all 7 of these things. This is, you guys got to use your critical thinking skills, okay? I know you guys are very intelligent and very smart, and I'm not going to insult your intelligence by spoon feeding you everything. Okay, I know you know how to put this into action in your actual life. All right. So adjusting behavior, very, very important. So I'll even give you an example of what I mean by adjusting behavior. So for example, let's say you and a guy are having this issue where anytime he plans a date with you, he plans this date at 9 p.m. and he always shows up at 10:30. And then one day, finally, when he shows up at 10:30, you've already told him, look, I don't appreciate you showing up an hour and a half late to our date. If you're planning and scheduling this time, I only have a limited amount of time. And you being disorganized that does not work for me. You let him know that, and let's say he did it a second time, and now you don't come out of your house. We've talked about this before, why you should withdraw from guys when they show you things that you don't want to see. And let's say you choose to not come out of your house because you've already told him this is a boundary, and he's continued to cross it, so you don't even step outside of your house this time. Now, the next time he sees you, he says, okay, look, I apologize for coming on this date late and not respecting your time. I acknowledge that I was wrong, regardless of the reason. I acknowledge that I was wrong for not showing up for our date at the time specified for our date. In the future, I will make sure to have nothing in my schedule an hour before so that I can properly get ready. Or in the future, I've been planning our dates 30 minutes after I have work, but it takes me exactly 30 minutes to get from work to home, and it doesn't make logical sense. And that's why I'm running behind, because there's traffic, because of the other things. So in the future, when I plan our dates, I'll give myself an hour and a half grace to come home, get ready, eat some food or do whatever I need to do before I get ready and give myself a more realistic time frame that I can get to your house by so that we can actually be gone, or so that I can actually be here for you at the time specified. Okay. So you see how that's not just an apology, but that's also a course of action. And that's also an acknowledgement that I must adjust my behavior in order to fit your needs or to keep you at peace or to keep you happy in this relationship. Okay. Now, this is why I say the guys who are in love with you and the guys who actually have real, genuine feelings towards you, it'll be very easy for them to do this. They'll be more than willing to do this, okay? The guys who are not so in love with you and don't have the genuine feelings towards you, this will be like pulling teeth. You'll feel the need to beg him to make adjustments in his behavior. You'll feel the need to plead with him that can he please make an adjustment, and you'll feel the need even to write out and sketch out and strategy out the adjustment that you want him to make. You'll have to do all the work for him to make the adjustment if he's even willing to make the adjustment, and even then he'll fight you on it. Okay, so this is something that you need to be looking out for, because if he's doing this and this comes easy to him, now you know that you're on the right track. Okay. And if you're building a relationship with someone, because someone asked about the talking stage, if you're building a relationship with someone and you see these qualities, or you see at least this quality right here, then you know you're moving along in the right direction. And you know that there is merit to the way that he actually feels towards you. Okay. I always tell you guys, don't be listening to all the words that he says, right? Be looking at the actions. So I want to give you guys some actual strategy in terms of the actions to be looking for. Okay. Okay, Braveheart says that's true, but we still have to not let them reverse roles, because all the toxic stuff they can flip real quick. That's the thing. You don't ever want to be. So all the things that I'm talking about here, let me be very clear, and I'm glad that you said this, Braveheart. Let me be very clear. All the things that I'm discussing today, these are not things you should be begging for a man to do for you. Are we on the same page? Okay, these are not things that you plead, please, can you start making adjustments for me? Please, can you start doing all the things that Tomisin said in his video means that you love me? Because I want to feel like you love me. And I won't feel like you love me if you don't do all the things that I seen and I heard about in Tomisin's video. So please be like the guy in Tomisin's video and do all of those 7 things. No, I'm here to tell you, you're not going to be asking or begging and pleading for these things. These are going to serve as a function of the things that you should be observing in your relationship. So if you think you're building a long-lasting, serious relationship with a guy, and I go through these 7 strategies, and you're really thinking to yourself, actually, none of those things that he just mentioned are present in what I consider to be my long-term serious relationship. Okay? And if you notice that, then that should be a red flag to you that maybe it's not as serious as I originally thought. Okay. Shay says, what are the 7 things, please? I'm just here since a few minutes. If you want all 7 things in 60 seconds, this is probably not the place for you. No diss. Any of you who are looking for me to describe all of the 7 things in 60 seconds, you probably should continue scrolling through TikTok. This is for dedicated people who want to listen to it in its entirety, get the detail, and actually be able to absorb the information, not just take it and ask their boyfriend 7 questions. Do you do this? Do you do that? Why don't you do this? And then be over with it. Okay. You're not actually going to learn anything that way. All right. So, but for those of you who want to rewatch, it's always available on my YouTube. Just keep that in mind, right? So number 1 was adjusting behavior. All right. Number 2, very important. I want you all paying attention. Number 2, attention to detail. Okay. Now I want to explain attention to detail very, 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 very clearly, because some of you might get this confused. I'm going to be real with you. When a man loves you, you are always going to be on the top of his mind. So whether he realizes it or not, it will be very easy to pay very close attention to things about you. Changes in your style, changes in your look, changes in your the way you approach things, changes even in your hair, right? Even if he's not exactly completely sure. When a man loves you, he's going to be able to say, I might not know exactly what it is, but I feel like something's different. Did you do your hair different? Did you do your makeup different? Did you get taller? Are your teeth whiter? Right? The thing about it is, when a man loves you, he's paying very close attention to you, even on a subconscious level. So when things change in you, even if they change in your own life outside of the relationship, men are able to take notice of it. So you'll start noticing that the guys who are actually super invested in you are actually very capable of identifying very micro differences in your personality or the way you act or the way you react or respond to things. Okay, they're very good at identifying patterns in your personality or character, and they can even to the point of being able to call them out to you as, no, I know that you regularly do this. I know that you're regularly like this. I know that you regularly respond like this. So when you try to not respond that way, they're like, this is weird. Why are you responding differently? This is weird. Why are you acting differently? They're able to notice very, very minute changes and very, very intricate details. I don't know. I'll give you guys an example that probably some of you can relate to or understand. I don't know if you've ever watched those TikTok videos where people will be in the relationship couple or whatever, and they'll say, oh, about to get my boyfriend to do this thing. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to trick my boyfriend into doing this thing. And as soon as they set up the hidden camera and they start asking their boyfriend questions or doing something in order to elicit a particular response from him for the video, her boyfriend immediately goes, why are you acting weird? Why are you asking questions that you don't regularly ask? What do you mean? You don't regularly do that, right? You don't regularly ask me to if I can come take a shower with you. That's weird. Or you don't regularly close the door when you take a poop. Why are you closing the door now when you take poops? That's weird. You don't regularly ask me to get out of the bathroom when you're taking a shower. Why are you asking me to get out of the bathroom when you take a shower now? This is weird, right? And they know that even if it's something small and you're thinking, no, I'm like, why would he even think about that? Why would that even be something that's strange to him? Guy, trust me, when a guy truly loves you and is invested in you, even if he doesn't realize it, he notices, he understands who you are and he understands how you are. So when you're different, even by a little bit, even by a small, tiny, insignificant little bit, even by just a single question, he knows the way you'll ask a question. Okay. And so this is actually something really funny that I don't know if any of you realized. All right. I know that I tell you guys all the time that texting is not a real way to understand people and know people. But let me know in the chat if you've ever been receiving a text from someone, and while you're receiving that text from that person, you're literally thinking in your mind, you're like, what's going on? That's not how you usually text, right? Because even the way you text, I've become accustomed to the pattern in which you text. I've become accustomed to the pattern in which you'll say things or describe things. Even if it's like you like to send out really small blocks of text in a single sentence, you don't set periods, and then you use your periods as each individual message, right? You begin to see, this is the thing. When you really like a guy, you're able to notice those things, and I'm trying to help you understand that vice versa. Even those really small, intricate things, they become like patterns. They become like a fingerprint to that person's personality. So vice versa for the men also, they're able to notice very detailed things about your personality and character that become like your fingerprint. They're the finger. You have a physical fingerprint, and then you have a fingerprint to your personality and your character. So men notice when those things change, and their ability to notice that should be something that helps you clue into the fact that he's actually in love with you. He's actually invested in you, and his feelings for you are actually genuine. I can assure you, a guy who's love bombing you cannot notice intricate details about you because he's just spewing a whole bunch of general vague statements to keep you over the moon and to help make it easier for him to sleep with you. But I promise you, if you were to ask him anything intricate or detailed about you or your personality or how you act, he's not paying attention to any of those things. He's going to be like, what? I didn't even notice that thing. Why? Because he doesn't even really care. Just gonna tell you the truth. Does that make sense? Right? Someone says, Abby says, yes, we're more similar than people make it out to be. Yeah, I agree. We're similar in many ways, and we're also all different in many ways that are easily identifiable. And you'll begin, as you grow and understand people, you'll begin to notice patterns in them, and so will the men in you. And so anytime you're with the guy that it really seems to be able to pay a lot of close attention to details about you, right? Even if he's not necessarily doing it on purpose to show you how much he likes you, it's accidental how much he pays attention closely and detail to you. And he can even call out slight changes in you or your behavior or your personality or your approach. That's a good sign, because that tells you that his feelings right there are genuine and coming from a real place, not just coming from this facade. All right. Ivy said, so if he noticed that, that is a good thing. It is. I would say if you're talking about the texting specifically, it is. But also in general, if he's noticing small details about you and so for example, if anytime something actually shifts in the way you think or something, let's say something happens in your family. And when something happens in your family, your just energy is slightly different that day. And he asks you, are you okay? I can notice something's different. Or you usually, whenever I ask you if you want ice cream, you're usually so excited for us to go get ice cream. Now all of a sudden you're just kind of excited. Not the same level of excitement. Even though it's not necessarily something that really anyone would really be able to put their finger on, it's something he can put his finger on because he knows how he's become accustomed to the way you react and respond to things specific to you. So when it's not that, he knows that something has changed. Okay, right? So adjusting behavior, number 1. Attention to detail, number 2. Now, number 3 is very important, okay? It's a very interesting one, actually, so I want you to be paying attention. Number 3 is a man will be able to keep you in mind. Now, what I'm talking about when I say keep you in mind, I'm referring to his ability to keep you in the back of his mind, even when he's making decisions about himself, his own life, or what would work best for him. Because he's also thinking about, no, it's not just about me and what I care about and what I want. It's also about what my woman wants. So even if she's not here, even if she's not able to put an input in this situation or to help make this choice, I have to be actively thinking about what is also best for her, what also serves her. And before she even gets a chance to speak up for herself or let me know what she would like best, I need to be actively forward thinking enough to think what is also best for her, even though I'm making a decision that might mostly be about me and for me, because I know that her happiness and her peace is also very, very, very important to me. And so I need to keep her in mind when I'm making decisions about my own life, even my own life, okay? Our life especially, obviously, but also keeping her in mind when I'm making decisions about my own life. So, for example, if a guy's like, hey, I'm looking at apartments, but I know that you really like to bring your dog over, so I'm making sure that I look for an apartment which has, pets allowed, because some apartment buildings, they don't allow pets, and I want to make sure that you're able to bring your dog over and he's able to have a spot. Or when he's like, oh, so I'm moving into my new spot, but I wanted to make sure I put the couch in the corner, because I know when you bring your dog over, I want to put a little doggy a doggy bed for your dog, so that when you come sleep over and you bring your dog, he can have a nice little place to sleep, right? Even though you weren't saying, hey, make sure when I come over, there's a dog bed for my dog so that my dog's comfortable when I come over to your place. He was forward thinking that in the process of me making the decision of how I'm going to organize my space and my apartment, I want to make sure that I'm actually thinking about the woman I care about and thinking about her needs, despite them not necessarily being my needs. So it doesn't necessarily matter if my couch is in that corner or in that corner or in that corner, because I don't have a dog. But you have a dog, and I care about you. So I want you and your dog to be comfortable when you guys come over to my place. So I'm going to be thinking about how I can arrange my life in a way that when you come and spend time with me, you and your dog, so you and the things that you care about, are comfortable and you're at peace, you're happy, and I'm happy as well. Do you see how that works? Right? And so I give you that example, but in overall, the men who are actually in love with you and the men who are actually paying attention to you and genuinely care about you will be keeping you in mind even when you're not there to speak up for your own needs. Why? Because your needs will not cease to be important to him simply because you're not present in front of him. And a lot of times, right, guys are going to make decisions even sometimes, as horrible as it sounds, a lot of times guys who are really invested and really care and really love you are going to make decisions for themselves, even if it serves to their detriment, because of how much they want to make you happy and keep you at peace as well. Okay. Not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I'm just saying it's so prevalent in men who are really invested in you or any woman in general that they're going to actively always be thinking about how can I also make her happy with the decision that I'm making? How can I also make sure that I keep her in mind with the decision that I'm making currently at this very moment? Okay. Right? Does that make sense? Right? Someone says off topic, but please answer this age-old question for me. Just curious, is there a signal that calls men to women for pineapples? What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean. Right? Someone says, Tomisin, this other influencer for women on TikTok says having a roster is an L. What do you think? I actually talked about that yesterday. I know it's a little bit of a side note, but I talked about that yesterday. To me personally, rosters don't serve you. They only make your life harder and more complicated to be able to figure out what it is you're doing. So, for example, in what we're talking about, 7 rare things to identify, if a man really loves you. Things like this, when you're looking out for, are you actually here for me? Are you actually invested in this relationship? Are you who I'm looking for? It sounds easy because we're breaking it down in a strategy, but when you're dating 3 or 4 people at once, or you have a roster of 3 or 4 at the same time, and you're trying to actively observe behaviors and grow and learn and understand each individual, I just told you each person has their own personality fingerprint as well. It's going to become very difficult to be able to observe each individual and really grow in your understanding of them when you're dating multiple people at once, because you're spreading yourself emotionally thin. Okay. Regardless of how you want to slice it or dice it, you're going to have emotional investment in the people that you're dating. So you want to be actively invested in people if you're going to be dating in them, right? If you're going to be dating them with the purpose of eventually building something here, you want to be properly invested so that you can know, is this going in the right direction or is it not? Because as soon as it's not, then you say, this is it. This is over. I'm done with this. And you cut it off completely. That's the problem. I don't like to tell you guys that one way of living your life is any better than another way. But one of the issues that a lot of you guys are facing when we talk about these rosters is that a lot of you end up just building up a roster that each person can just be like a placeholder. So whether it's going good or it's going bad or it's not what you're looking for, it doesn't really matter. You just want to keep them all going. And so then you have people in your life and men in your life that aren't what you're looking for, but they're still in your life and you're still talking to them. And there's still confusion and there's no standards, there's no expectations. And now you're super confused and everyone's confused. So who loses? You lose, because you lose your time and your energy because it's being invested in people that you're not going to end up with. That's my only thing when it comes to rosters. I don't know how anyone else will tell it to you. And I'm not a dating guru. I'm not a dating expert. I'm just a regular human being. They can call themselves dating gurus. I wouldn't advise you to go about your life that way. I think you can still accomplish the same goal of getting your life partner without having a roster of 3 or 4 people. Okay. I know it sounds like, oh, I want to do what the guys do. I don't advise you as women to try to be more like guys. I advise you to be a woman. Okay. That's perfectly fine. It's not a crime to be a woman. You don't have to try to outmen the men. All right. So, so number 1 was adjusting behavior. 2, the attention to detail. Number 3, he'll keep you in mind. Number 4, this is actually going to be a very interesting one, is he will enjoy your quirks. Okay. This is going to be something maybe some of you might have experienced before and maybe some of you might have not. But in the process of growing with you in this relationship, he'll be able to, as he begins to learn you, and like I said, each person has their own fingerprint of a personality, right? Things that are unique to them, patterns that are unique to them, just the way that they are and approach life. Now, in the process of learning and understanding that about you, he'll begin to identify quirks about you, whether it be quirks about the way you respond to things, quirks about your laugh, quirks about the way you talk, the quirks about how you can't say, maybe you have a lisp or just things that make you uniquely you. And see, what's going to happen is when a man loves you, he'll actually enjoy the fact that there are things about you that make you uniquely you. He's not going to say to himself, oh my God, everything about you that makes you different from the average everyday supermodel or IG model that I could see on the street is so unattractive. He's actually going to enjoy the fact that there are things about you, even if there are things that you think are unattractive about yourself. He's going to start to enjoy the fact that no, those aren't unattractive things about you. They're just things about you. And I actually enjoy that there are things about you that are different from everyone else. Okay? It's going to actually, in some weird ways and some strange instances, turn him on that you have unique quirks about you because he likes you and he likes you specifically. Okay. I always talk about that. There's a difference between liking someone in general and liking you specifically, right? He wants you specifically, not I'm just H'd up and I would like anyone to satisfy my needs. I want you specifically. Because there's something that you do for me specifically that I like. I sees you and I wants you. All right. Okay. And I say that to say, as guys grow with you and as their feelings become more deepened and more genuine for you, I actually love what Ebony just said. Ebony Legger just said, she said, he loves your barcode. That is a perfect way to say it, right? He loves your barcode because it can't be scanned and duplicated by someone else. That is uniquely you. So you'll notice that the things that make you uniquely you, even though you might be like, I don't really like this one about me, I wish I could change that. He'll be like, no, I love that. That is you. When I smell you, you got this particular smell that's got like a little tinge and I like it. I like it. Can you open up your armpits? I want to smell the way that you smell after you go for a workout. I like how your armpits smell after a workout. Can I smell your BO? Your sweat has this tinge and I like it. And you're like, you're actually disgusting. What is wrong with you? Can you please back away? He's like, no, just let me smell your pits. Let me smell your pits. Just one time, let me smell your pits. No, don't go take a shower. Let me smell your just open up your arms. Let me get a waft. And you'll be like, no, you're actually disgusting. You might think he's joking, but like I'm being so serious. Guys begin to enjoy your uniqueness and even the things that you think make you unattractive. They're like, no, I like that about you. I like you. I actually like you. So what makes you you, I enjoy it. I like it. I want more of that thing. Okay. SA says that must be a joke. No, I'm actually serious. And you guys can let me know in the chat, have you ever been with a guy that liked your BO and liked how you smell when after you sweated? Let me know in the chat if you've ever experienced that, because I'm not BSing and talking out of my butt. Okay? Guys will like things that make you uniquely you, even if you think to yourself, that's kind of weird, that's kind of gross. Why would you like that thing? Or even things that make you insecure. You'll be like, that makes me insecure. How is that the thing about me that you actually like? That doesn't make any sense. You might be like, oh my God, my feet don't look at my feet. I don't like my feet. I've got bunions, or I've got my index toe is bigger than my big toe and I don't like it. My index toe looks like a finger and my big toe's so stubby and small. And he'd be like, no, I love that your big toe looks like that. I think it's so cute. And he's like pulling on your toes, sucking on your toes. Right? And, you're thinking it's weird. It's something even you might be insecure about, but it's something unique about you that he really enjoys. Just telling you the truth. Right? Someone says there was a man that I knew, he was weird like this. I should tell you about him. I'm telling you, I tell you guys all the time, I'm not talking out of my butt. So even when I talk about the way guys will love you when they're really genuine to you, it's going to seem weird. And a lot of times it's going to seem very silly, but I'm telling you that there's something to this. Guys get weird and silly when they're in love. Okay. Let's just be fair. They're like little boys. Okay. They're like little munchkins. When they get in love, they're weird. Okay. We're all weird at heart, but guys even more weird when they love you. Okay. So let's go on. Adjusting behavior, number 1. Attention to detail, number 2. Keeping you in mind, number 3. Enjoying your quirks, number 4. Number 5 is something very interesting that maybe some of you may or may not have noticed that guys will like to do a lot. Here's the thing. When number 5 is going to be solving your problems. Guys actually quite enjoy solving problems of the people that they care about. So when he actually is invested in you, and you come to him with an issue that you're having in your life. I don't know if you've ever, tell me if you ever noticed this. And you come to him with an issue that you have in your life, whether it be a family thing, a best friend thing, a work thing. He's always thinking about how he can help you solve your problems. Okay? Like really thinking about it. Like really, like the first thing he says after you tell him about your problems is he's thinking about a solution to that problem and how he can actively help you come up with this solution to that problem. And even to the point where sometimes you're thinking to yourself, no, I don't want to do anything. I actually don't want to take any action here. I literally just wanted to get this off my chest. And he's like, no, but you can do this and you can do that. But no, I'll help you do this. No. Like literally, let's do it right now. Like, let's take care of it right now. And you're like, no, chill. Like, actually chill. Like, I'm not doing that. I just wanted to get this off my chest. It's like, but babe, like we can actually get this done and that done, and we can do it like this, and then this will make sense, and then your life will be good, and then everything will be good, right? Guys are very eager to solve your problems when they actually are invested in you and when they actually have real feelings for you and they love you, okay? Very, very, very eager to solve your problems. Right? It's the natural instinct in a man when he becomes or evolves into a protector and provider for you, his woman. Okay? Part of protecting is also being able to ease your own discomfort, right? Because guys absorb that when you start telling him about your problems or your issues, even if they're family issues or friend issues, things that have nothing to do with him type of issues. He's going to be thinking, oh, you're showing me or you're expressing to me your discomfort with this particular area of your life. I am your protector, so naturally I want to ease your discomfort. And because I want to ease your discomfort, I'm looking actively for solutions that will help ease your discomfort. And a lot of times you might have noticed this in your relationships. A lot of times, even to the point where guys will become frustrated if you express to them an issue or a problem and they can't ease your discomfort in that moment. So if they feel like, oh, you have an issue or a problem, but your discomfort is not being eased, they might even become frustrated that your discomfort is not being eased because they're like, no, like, my natural inclination is to solve your problem. So now that you're not allowing me to solve your problem, I'm frustrated now. We need to solve your problem. And so in some weird cases, you'll get in a fight with your man because he wants to solve a problem of yours that you're not necessarily currently interested in trying to solve and attempting to solve. It sounds very strange and very weird, but if you've ever experienced it, you know what I'm referring to. Okay? Right? Leanna says, my ex was mad I didn't ask for money when I got laid off. It's things like that, right? Because he doesn't like the idea of you being in discomfort. It's like an itch in his brain that he can't scratch. And it's just a natural thing that he's going to feel when he's actually invested in you. So when he feels like you're in discomfort and he feels like your discomfort is not being eased, even if he knows how to ease it or he knows what steps to take, he's going to become frustrated and to the point where you might actually get in an argument because he's frustrated that you are in discomfort still. Does that make sense? Does that make sense so far? Right? He's going to want to solve your problems. So if you tell him, let's use Leanna's situation, for example. So if you come to him and you tell him, I just got laid off and, I'm looking for a new job now and I got to make sure that I save money so that I can, before I get this new job. And he says, oh, okay, but I can just help you I have this business. If you just came and you help me out with my business, like I can pay you. Like, so that you don't have to be worried about a new job. Or how much do you need? Do you need something to help you throughout the next couple of months? Why didn't you ask me? And then you're like, wait, no, I don't need money. I don't want money. I'm just telling you that I'm looking for a new job because I left this old job. He's like, wait, no. I know that you're looking for a new job, but you need money. So let me give you some so that you have some money that you can get your groceries. I know you like to get your nails done. I know you like to do this and know you like to do that. And you're like, no, I genuinely don't need money. And I'm not asking you for money. I'm expressing to you that I'm looking for a new job. I didn't like my last one. I'm not asking you for money. I got this covered. And then he might get mad like, no, Why don't you want me to help you out? I'm willing to help you out. I'm your boyfriend. I want to help you out. You don't have a job. I'm going to give you some money so you're not worried about money all the time. And you're thinking to yourself, is this MFer literally arguing with me about giving me money? Like, I don't even really need the money. I was just saying that I have no job and I got to get a new one. You know what I mean? And you'd be like, how are we in an argument right now that you want to do something for me and I don't want to do, then I don't need anything done? Or for example, let's say you have a work issue with a coworker and you're expressing to him this work issue. I know a lot of you have been in this situation. You're expressing your work issue with a coworker, it's probably a girl, and you're expressing how you and this girl aren't seeing eye to eye. You've been having these issues and having these problems back and forth, and you're really sick of her. And then your boyfriend starts telling you, or your husband in some cases will start telling you, hey, you got to do it like this. So just approach her like this and let her know like this. And then you go to your boss and then you tell your boss how she's not, doing the right work. And then she's taking credit for your projects and she's not putting in the right effort. And then you come back and you make sure that you address her this way and you talk to her this way. And you're like, no, babe, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just telling you what's going on in the work thing and the drama that's going on. But like, I'm not trying to do anything. He's like, no, okay, no, listen, I'll type out this message that you're going to send her. So this is what you're going to say in the email. You're like, no, chill. No, he's like, no, because this email is what's going to set the stage. And then when you talk to your boss, when he understands it like this, he'll take it like this, and then it'll all work together. You won't have that issue anymore. And you're like, chill. I'm literally just expressing to you how I feel about a situation, and you're trying to go above and beyond, trying to write out a work email for me to try to solve the situation, but I don't need you to solve the situation. And you're arguing with him about, he's like, no, I want this to be solved for you. And you're like, no, just leave it alone, right? And that's how it is, right? Because for guys, it's an itch in their brain that needs to be scratched if they feel like you're in discomfort, right? Steph says, I'm getting the feeling I'm the man in the relationship. LOL, my ex would not give this much pressure. Well, I mean, he's your ex for a reason, right, Steph? Right. So that's something that you guys should be thinking about, because like I said to you before, right, at the beginning, this is not necessarily something that you should be begging men to do for you. Okay, so I don't want you to listen to all of these steps that I talk about and then think to yourself, oh, these are the first things I'm going to ask my man. Why doesn't he do? Why aren't you thinking about how to adjust your behavior and give me attention to detail and enjoy my quirks? Because I was listening to Tomisin today, and he's my favorite YouTuber, he's my favorite streamer. I love him so much. And he was telling me all the things that a man will do if he loves you. So why don't you do any of those? No, I don't want you begging and pleading men to do those things for you. I just want this to be a bank of information in your mind that when you're building relationships with men, or if you're in one already now, these are the type of things you can be looking out for and observing in your relationship and with your man, so that you can know, am I on the right track, or are things not moving along how I believe they should be moving along? Okay, so number one was adjusting behavior. Then we add attention to detail, keeping you in mind, enjoying your quirks, solving your problems. And number 6, I kind of mentioned this overall in everything that we were discussing, but number 6 is prioritizing your peace. So in the process of him adjusting his behavior, in the process of him keeping you in mind, right? Those are things that are also focused on prioritizing your peace. Like they always say, happy wife, happy life. That didn't just come out of nowhere. It's because when men are truly invested in a woman and a relationship, and they truly love that woman, there is really nothing more important to him than her peace and her happiness. Why? Because that's the only way that we as men can have peace and happiness, is if our woman has peace and happiness. If she's in disarray, if she's in discomfort, like I mentioned before, why guys are going to want to solve your problems, then I'm in discomfort, right? And so, yes, guys want to solve your problems because like they love you and they care about you, but also it's natural within them that it's like an itch they cannot scratch. If they feel like you're in discomfort, or you're unhappy, or you're not at peace, right? They're going to feel the need to make some sort of adjustment or change so that you can be in peace, to the point where they will prioritize your peace even over their own, or their own version of peace. Whatever is more important to them, they'll put that on the back burner for what's important to you, because when you're at peace, then he can actually relax a little bit. If you're not at peace, he will not be able to relax if he actually loves you. Now, if he doesn't care that much about you, or he's just trying to take advantage of you, like I say, it's not going to matter. But if he actually is invested in you and actually loves you, when you're at peace, that's going to be his truest version of peace, because there is no world in which he is in love with you and attached to you and invested in you, and he can be at peace if he knows for a fact that you're not at peace. Okay? I know some other YouTubers will even tell you from the other perspective, right? I think I've seen Shira even talk about this before, because I know a lot of you guys love Shira, in that one of the best ways to get a guy to do something is to create a problem that he can solve. And we're kind of basically saying the same thing, right? Is that when you give him a problem that needs to be solved, the first thing that comes to his mind when he's invested in you is, I want to solve your problem, right? It's an itch that he needs to scratch. If I'm invested in you and I love you and you have an issue or you have some sort of discomfort, your peace is always going to be a priority to me. So I'm always going to be thinking about how to get you back to a state of peace and no longer in a state of discomfort, even if it makes me uncomfortable in the process of doing it. Your peace will always be a priority to me. Right? Now, guys aren't going to come out and say this, but you're going to see this in their actions towards you. Are you following what I'm saying? They're always going to be prioritizing what is most important to you and what will keep you centered and grounded and whole and feeling good, because when you're at peace, he's able to be at peace. Okay? Does that make sense? Right? So, number 1 was adjusting behavior. Number 2, we add attention to detail. Number 3, keeping you in mind. Number 4, enjoying your quirks. Number 5, solving your problems. Number 6, prioritizing your peace. Okay. Someone says, what do you think of longest relationships? I'll get to that in a second. Okay. So number 6 was prioritizing your peace. Number seven is he will act differently. Now, if you listen very closely, I know I haven't said this yet, but this is suck up your poop time, because I don't want you guys to get this one confused. And I know if you're half listening, you'll probably get this confused. So what I mean when I say act differently, what you're going to notice is when guys are with their guys, they're a certain way. Okay. And when guys are in public with other people, when they're out and about, especially when they're at work, they're a particular way. You're going to notice they're a lot more buttoned up and a lot more serious when they're outside of the house and not just with you in the comfort of your own home or just with you one-on-one. This is something to take notice of. If a man, when he's with you, acts differently, and when I say acts differently, I don't mean like he treats you horrible or something like that. I mean like he almost like relaxes. He's a bit sillier. He's a bit more jovial. He jokes more. He's more bubbly. It's almost like he seems like he's a more outgoing person when he's with you. Then when you go out, he's kind of like not really seeming that outgoing. He's not really seeming that bubbly. He's not really seeming that jokingly or serious. He's a bit more buttoned up and stand up straight. And even when you're around him, but you're in public with him, you're kind of like, you're not really as much fun as when it's just you and me. And you kind of feel strange because you're like, are you in a bad mood? Are you like, are you upset about something? Seems like when we go out, you kind of seem like you're not really happy or something's wrong or something's bothering you, because you've become accustomed that when you're with him one-on-one, he's silly, he jokes, you guys laugh, you guys giggle, he's not taking things too seriously. And he's just lots of fun. It's like almost like he's a really outgoing person. But when he's out with other people, and even when you're around him and he's out with other people, you kind of feel like he acts differently, almost as if he's bothered or almost as if he's upset, and he's almost as if he's not as outgoing. That is actually a sign, because what he's telling you without telling you this is that around you, he feels like he can be more of himself. And he doesn't have the pressure of having to be like, oh, I'm a manly man, the most manly man in all the manly kingdom. And I shall show everyone my might and strength and power. Okay? I know this sounds very strange, but the truth of the matter is with you, if he's being a little bit softer, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit sillier, a little bit more playful, that's a great sign. Like Ebony's got some great points today. Like Ebony just said, you're his safe place. So I don't want you to take it offensively if when you go out with a man, he seems to be not as outgoing as when you're with him one-on-one. It's not necessarily a function of the fact that, oh, he doesn't like you or he doesn't like going out with you. It's more of a function of when he's with you and it's just you and him, he feels safe enough to actually express a larger range of emotions and feelings that are true and authentic to him. And it's a lot harder for him to express that when he's around people and he naturally wants to have his guard up. So I don't want you to become frustrated when you feel that switch. Someone says, I was so confused by the switch. This is why I'm letting you guys in on this. And this is why the show is so great, because now you can have the understanding that that's not meant to be offensive to you. It's actually a compliment to you. And the fact that when it's just you and him, that feels like a place where he can actually relax and he doesn't have to feel threatened by what other people are doing. He doesn't have to feel like he needs to have walls up or have a guard up, that he needs to protect himself physically and emotionally. Because what you don't see, something that you might not realize is that depending on what, especially guys, depending on what guys have been through in their life, they might use, a lot of them actually are using their persona or personality when they're in the public eye, when they're out and about. They have learned from their own experience that the best way to protect themselves, protect their heart, protect their feelings, is to have this shield of armor that prevents people from getting too close to them or affecting them too much emotionally, that they don't have to be hurt by anything someone says to them or does to them. This is what a lot of men are doing, right? Because they've learned that this is the only way they can go about life in general. Because if they don't have this shield of armor surrounding them everywhere that they go, then they'll easily be penetrated. Don't get your mind out of the gutter. They'll easily be penetrated and they'll easily be hurt by whether it be friends, family, or just people in general. And so they build up this armor that they take with them anytime they step outside of the house. And it's only when they're in a place where they actually feel genuinely safe that they feel they're able to take off of this armor and be more relaxed and be more of their actual selves. So you'll notice that it almost feels like it's a different personality in some extreme cases, right? You feel like you're almost with a different person when it's just you and him versus when he goes out and he's out and about in the world, even if you're with him. Because naturally, when he steps outside of that house, it's going to be a very different environment than just when he's with you. Right? Does that make sense? Real life says men can't afford to be seen as weak and vulnerable in the world. Exactly, 100%. And that's what I want you to be understanding, that it's not meant to be offensive to you or it's not meant to be a diss to you. It's actually meant to represent how open he feels around you. And I like I always tell you guys, because I focus on the emotional. And while guys might be a little bit more emotional stunted, I always tell you guys the real way to get men invested in you is to figure out how you can get him deeply emotionally invested in you. And getting guys to open up to you and being a great listener, it'll change your life. And it'll also help you a lot, because it'll help you to see the same way that I'm expressing feelings and emotions of how men feel and how they go about things. And it makes it more clear to you, so you know how to go about things in your relationship. The better of a listener you are, the easier it will become for you to extract that information from your individual unique guy. And the better you'll feel about your relationship, because you'll know that you're on the right track, and you'll also have him deeply emotionally invested in you. Now, obviously, not every guy that you ever meet in your entire life is going to be as articulate and be able to describe his inner thoughts and feelings and emotions as I do. Okay, I'm not real, I'm an AI. In general, though, you'll be able to get that out of guys in the process of asking good questions, being a good listener, and then like Ebony said earlier, being like his safe space. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, do you guys have any questions about what we just discussed here today in these 7 points? So we talked about adjusting behavior, attention to detail, keeping you in mind, enjoying your quirks, solving your problems as they'll love to do, prioritizing your peace, and then how they act differently when they're not around you. Okay. Angelina says emotional connection is key. I 100% agree. Nifasimi says, how do you get him to stop the switch ups? I'm glad you asked that question. I actually don't think that you need to ask him to stop switching it up. If you're referring to how guys will act differently when they're just with you versus when they go out with you and they're around other people, I actually don't think that that is something that needs to be changed. I actually think you should lean into the fact that when he's with you, that's a place where he can be his truest self. And I actually think you should encourage that belief within him. He's going to act on that, but I actually want you to continue to make him feel like, hey, when you're with me, this is the place where you can let go. This is the place where you can be honest. This is the place where you can be real. You'll get a much better version of him. And don't worry about how he acts when he goes out with you, because at the end of the day, you will still get your time with him one-on-one when it's just you and him. So what's more important is that he feels safe enough when it's just you and him that he can truly express himself. So I actually don't think you should ever feel the need to get him to switch up the fact that when he goes out, he's got his shield of armor on. You understand what I'm saying? Right? This man, someone says, says this man actually said he act himself whenever he's with me. Is that what you mean, his piece? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. If a man's telling you that he acts like his true self, now obviously that's words, but if he's actually telling you that I'm the real me when I'm with you, like that's the real me, that's a good sign that like he feels safe enough around you that he can let go of that shield of armor. Because like someone said in the YouTube chat just a little bit earlier, right? Guys, they can't be that vulnerable. They'll be seen as weak if they're gonna walk around without that. It's like an emotional, spiritual shield of armor. Obviously, it's not actually a shield of armor. You get what I'm saying? And so I actually want you to encourage that, okay? Someone said earlier, he becomes protective in public and pays attention to the surroundings. Then we get in the car and he switches. Perfect. That's actually a good thing. I want you guys to reframe your way of thinking and realize that that is a very good thing. Jazz says, I was an open listener and he opened up to me because, but he discarded of me after 10 months when we had 90 seconds of pineapples. I don't understand what went wrong here. See, okay, that's a very specific situation. If you want to, you can ask your situation in the Discord, because there's so many variables in the span of 10 months. It might not necessarily just be, things were going good, then we slept together, and then that was it. It was over. Okay. Angelina says, if a man loves you, how long average time is for him to propose? That's a good question, but see, I have to be honest with you guys. I know a lot of times when you guys ask me a question, you want me to give you a cookie cutter answer that you can put it down on your calendar. But the reality of it is the average time is not what you should be striving for. What you should be striving for more is your ability to learn a person enough that you know what they're like and how they respond to you and the relationship in a multitude of different scenarios and situations. Meaning, when they're upset, you know how he acts and treats the relationship. When he's angry, when he's sad, when he's happy, when he's over the moon, when he's stressed out, all the different ranges of emotions and circumstances and things he could go to. When he loses, you know what I mean? Like when he doesn't have money, when he has lots of money, when when his family life is good, when his family life is not good. These are all of the experiences that need to happen for you to get a really good, clear understanding of the actual person you're in a relationship with. That's what I want you and him to be more focused on, rather than you being so focused on, has the date come yet? Has the date come yet? Has it been 9 months? Has it been 10 months? Because the truth of the matter is, depending on your specific situation, in the span of 10 months, you could be seeing that person once every 2 weeks. And vice versa, in the span of 8 months, you could be seeing that person every single day, right? And in every single circumstance and different situation. So obviously, that's going to drastically change how much you've learned and grown with that person in that time period if you're spending so much more quality time with each other and around each other, experiencing each other. So that also needs to be factored into whatever time frame you specifically have. So you can't just say, it's going to be 10 months and he has to have proposed by then. Meanwhile, in the span of the 10 months, you've seen each other once a month. How much does he really know you and how much do you really know him, right? Does that make sense? Ashley says, I don't trust anything he says. He tells me he's never wanted anyone more than me, but he negs the absolute F out of me every day. So those are part of the things where Yeah, see, the thing is too, guys can also become obsessed with the idea of just being over the moon for you. Oh my God, you're so perfect. Oh my God, you're so amazing. Oh my God, you're the best thing since sliced bread. Sounds good in a movie, but I also want you to chill out and help him chill out where you're like, cool, I'm glad you love me and appreciate me so much. I don't want you to shoot it down, but I also want you to pace him and yourself where it's like, I'm so glad that you're over the moon and you're so happy with me in this relationship, but let's continue to grow and learn each other, and we'll continue to see how this goes, and if it continues to be like that, we'll continue to escalate the relationship into somewhere really amazing and special. Okay? I just want you to be, like I say, I don't want you guys to be pessimists, but I do want you to be a little bit more skeptical of when people are just going to make you feel like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever and I can't believe how much I like you. Yes, it's good that you like me, but let's go on in the relationship and we'll see if you still feel that same way in, 10 months, in 1 year. Okay? And then we'll reevaluate then. Okay? Right? Someone says, how long should the talking stage phase last? That's very similar to what I talked about and how long it should take for a man to propose. That's very, very unique and specific to you. And that's the reason why I don't like giving you guys cookie cutter time frames, because I know that as soon as I give you a cookie cutter time frame, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to mark it down in your calendar from the first day that you meet a man and you say one word to him that this is the exact date that he should have asked you to be his girlfriend by. And if he hasn't asked you to be his girlfriend by this time, well, then everything is a waste of time and everything is going to hell. Right? But at the same time, if he has asked you to be his girlfriend by this time period, then this is absolutely the perfect relationship for you. And this is everything that you've been looking for. Because then I know once I give you guys a specific time frame, all you're going to be thinking about is that date. And you're not going to be thinking about growing the relationship and growing your understanding and ability to evaluate, are you the person that I'm looking for? Do I have the answer, right, to the question of, are you in line with the type of man and the type of partner and relationship that I'm seeking? That's the question you need to be answering. Not, has it been 3 months? Has it been 6 months? Has it been 10 months? Okay? Right? That's what you're looking for. That's what you're evaluating. Don't have your focus on a time frame. The more focus you have on a time frame, the less you'll be focused on what actually matters. And if you don't have that answer, then whether it's been 3 months, 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 seconds, it's not going to matter. Right? Scotty says, there's too many men after me. I'm confused as to who I actually want. That's part of the reason why I say I don't advise you all to be having a roster of men. It's too complicated to date multiple men and have your ability to be able to evaluate those men all at once. Does that make sense? Okay. So I see a lot of people requesting one thing in particular. So I do believe it's that time. I do believe it's time for us to do this. Now, Players Club members, can you please let them know what we're about to do? Can you please let them know what time it is? Because I do believe that plenty of these new people, these outside people, the ones that they aren't real genuine Players Club members, they're probably quite confused what time it is. When I say what time it is, they look at their watch, they look at the clock, they look at their phone, they look at their computer, they look everywhere but here. I'm here to tell you, it's a very special time. It's a time that'll change your life. It's a time that'll make you laugh, make you cry, and make you realize some things about your own life. You want to know why? Because Discord time! Oh my god, I'm out of breath. Okay. All right. Let's get into Discord time here. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Discord time, it is essentially where all the amazing, I'm out of breath. All the amazing members of the Discord, they get an opportunity to ask me and the chat questions, and we'll answer your questions live on the show. Okay, so these are in order of date posted. You see me organizing by date posted, so you can ask your question as well in the relationship advice section of our Discord, and I will answer it live on the show. Just keep in mind there's a queue of people, so I gotta answer it by the oldest question that hasn't been answered yet. And if you're on TikTok, just go ahead and ask your question by getting into the link in my bio on my main page. And if you're on YouTube, it's in the link in the description or just in the pinned comment at the very top. Okay. So Silly Willy asked, social media advice. What's your advice on having a public account and not posting bikini pictures like on social media? Okay, so actually I'm glad you asked this question, okay? And I actually want you guys to be paying attention to this, okay? Because a lot of people ask me about social media. So my advice to you, obviously I'm just a single human being and I can't tell you the difference between right or wrong because, I'm not, I'm just a single human being. My advice to you though, if you're concerned or you're thinking about what should be on my profile or not, what's appropriate or what's not, what is making me look like a wife and what's not, this is my advice to you, and I actually want you to envision this, okay? If you were at a family function, including your immediate family, so your brothers and sisters and your mom and dad, and your extended family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, all of them, they're at a barbecue. And let's say you guys are all chilling inside the living room or in the backyard or whatever. And there's a big screen TV or projector in front at the backyard that's, just playing stuff on the screen. And everyone's watching the screen, right? And all of a sudden there's an interruption and AirPlay goes right onto the screen. And it's an AirPlay of someone's phone randomly. No one knows whose phone it is. And the AirPlay starts scrolling through your Instagram page, okay? And on your Instagram page, right, it's now showing to your entire family, your extended family, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your mother, your father, and your cousins, your entire main Instagram profile, okay? Now, the question I ask you, for those of you who want to know what's good and what's not, what's good and what's bad to post, my question is, if you were in that situation and your extended family was watching on the screen, being able to see all the things that you've posted, would you be embarrassed of what they see on that Instagram profile or whatever social media profile? Or would you be like, it's whatever, that's me? The answer to that question should tell you what you should or shouldn't be posting on your social media, and if that represents you the way that I would assume you're trying to represent yourself. Because if you think of that scenario and you think to yourself, oh my God, if they saw what's on my Instagram, I would be super embarrassed. Because I post some stuff on there I don't want my cousins seeing, I don't want my aunts and uncles seeing, and I definitely don't want my mom and dad seeing. If you feel like that, then that should tell you you probably aren't representing. I'm not here to tell you what's different right or wrong, but I'm telling you that probably should key you into you're not representing yourself in a way that you're necessarily super proud of. So that should make you rethink how you represent yourself. Because if you're not proud of because that's a digital representation of you. So it's still a representation of you. Okay. So if you're not proud of how the digital version of you is representing you online, then there's a misalignment there between who you think you are and how you want people to receive you and what you're actively projecting out to the world based on your social media profiles. Okay. I'm not saying that to attack any of you. I'm just saying that to help some of you rethink, because that is a representation of you. So if you don't like necessarily how that is representing you to every other people, then maybe there's a little bit of misalignment there. Maybe. Or maybe I'm an idiot and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Either of those things could be true. Okay? Right? But having it on public or private is not necessarily anything like that. That's a personal choice. I'm just speaking to the concept of the contents of your social media profile. You can have it on public or private, and either thing is fine. Next we have here, let's see. Rose. So Rose says hobbies, boundaries, etc. Okay. So hi, 3 questions. I love documentary photography where you document the realities of people and their problems, and it requires contact with a lot of people of all backgrounds. That's awesome. How can I, as a female, set boundaries that I do it only for the sake of a hobby and not to find myself in situations where a guy thinks that he can disrespect me because I love taking street photos of people and their realities? I'm a little bit confused why a guy would think he can disrespect you because you like street photography. Okay. Interesting. What would be the most efficient way to deal with these situations, and what would be the way to take photos and don't end up in a situation you love low value things and you take street ordinary photos? You must love low value men. What? Who's coming to that conclusion? Who's coming to that conclusion? I'm confused. That because you like to take pictures of people on the street and you do street photography, that you like low value. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, if a guy is approaching you like this, they're confused. That's not even that's total confusion. Street photography and you liking low value men because that's just a guy. He doesn't want you to do anything but sit around, look pretty, and be desperate for him. That's what that type of rhetoric sounds like, where he's upset that you would want to do anything in your life that is not just sitting down, looking pretty, and being a dutz. Okay? That doesn't make any sense to me how he could come to that conclusion from that. I'm just going to be super real with you. Okay? Since the problem is that when documenting these things, you sometimes end up with these kind of people. What do you mean though? Like you're taking pictures of them. So you end up having conversations with those type of people. You can actually have an interesting conversation with many of different people from many different walks of life. It speaks to a lot of closed-mindedness if he believes that you taking pictures and in the process of taking pictures, having conversation with different people from different walks of life. It speaks to the fact that if a guy is like that, believes there's something wrong with that, he is a very closed-minded guy. And I think for what you do and what you're interested in, I don't think that you're seeking a closed-minded guy. I think you're seeking a creative guy who's open to a lot of different possibilities and experiences. So probably, I think you're actually dating the wrong personality of man is the issue here. Up with these kind of people. Is there a way to set boundaries here? Thanks. So I don't think the issue is setting boundaries. I think you're dating the wrong type of personality. You understand what I'm saying? So whether it be the places that you're hanging out or just the type of guys, the type of guys you end up going on dates with, you're dating the wrong type of person. You understand what I'm saying? You're dating very close-minded men who find it difficult to understand how you can get any value from having discussions, conversations, or having some sort of creativity that involves people that may not look like him, may not sound like him, may not dress like him. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you're in a space in your mind and in your life where your life is all about creativity. Your life is all about learning and growing and experiences. So you need to be with someone that aligns in that mindset. See, these are part of the things that should be on your wish list, not even say wish list, but on your list of things that you know you require in a relationship, someone who's open-minded and creative, because those are the only type of people that are going to be on the same wavelength and frequency as you. It sounds to me, right? It's going to sound a little bit deep, but it sounds to me like you're dating people who are on different frequencies than you, different vibrations, as they say as well, than you, which is why there's a total misalignment in the way he approaches things and approaches life and the way you approach things and approach life. Because I'm telling you, because I'm not here to say this is a wrong way of thinking, but I'm telling you, the girl that he's looking for is not you because you don't think like that. But there are girls that think like this. So he should be dating those girls and you should be dating not those guys. Do you understand what I'm saying? What can you advise on how to create a picture in general that people can't mess with you, especially in situations where you work with people or for men that don't want something serious but are like boring in this approach, where in the meantime, they do not offer any change or something real, just talk. Because it's causing a lot of stress actually to always repeat no all the time and they do not listen. I sometimes fall into the trap of blaming myself. This is why I said, I think you're dating the wrong type of person. You get what I'm saying? Someone says, who's going to match my freak? It's like that. It really is like that, right? You need someone that's going to match your freak. Is somebody going to match my nasty, right? You need someone that's going to like is on the same wavelength and frequency as you, in all seriousness. Because if you don't have that, it's going to constantly feel like you're misaligned or there's something wrong with you that you need to adjust. Because nothing about what you're doing, especially you're just passionate about it. Nothing about what you're doing is wrong. It's the fact that the people you're dating don't align with your way of thinking and the way you approach life. So they make you feel like what you're doing is wrong. There's honestly nothing wrong. Based on what you said, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? I recently broke up with the boyfriend and is there a way to show another guy that I am single? Since we work together, he's seen me walking with my ex. Oh, like at the time he was her boyfriend. Or any other guy whom I like since I posted a few stories with my ex on a story. You mean wait, what? You post since he was your ex, you posted a few photos with him? Okay, that's strange. Don't do that if he's your ex, okay? Don't post photos with your ex if he's your ex. I'm going to go ahead and assume you mean you posted photos of when you were together, not after you broke up. But assuming that it was while you were together that you posted those photos, just give it some time, okay? It doesn't have to happen. Listen, if there's a guy that is seeing you regularly or seeing you periodically and you're single now, you don't have to be, just chill. Just chill. You don't have to be in a rush that, oh my God, should I text him that I'm single so he knows that I'm single? Just take a chill pill. I promise you, you're going to delete all your pictures of you and your ex on your profile. I hope you have already done that, but you should if you haven't. And I promise you, if he's interested in you, he'll check your profile periodically. And I promise you, as you're posting stories, you're enjoying your life, you're posting your work, he will eventually come to the realization, I haven't seen her post in a while. And if he's interested, he might either ask about it or he might, in the process of conversation, he might bring it up. And then that will be your time to let him know that you're single. Trust me. Just if a guy likes you, just let him cook. If you're interested in a guy, there's nothing wrong with that. But like, I don't want you getting all bent out of shape. Like, oh, I want this guy so badly to know I'm single. So let me send him a message that I'm single. You're chasing. Okay. Just relax. Take a chill pill. Okay. So that's my answer to that. I think I answered all three of your questions. So I hope you got some good advice there. Next we have here, let's see. Princess. Okay, princess. Queen. So you're a princess, but you're the queen of do nothing. So shouldn't you be queen then? Or shouldn't you be princess of do nothing? Okay, let's go on. Thank you so much for all you do in your shows. I appreciate you. I appreciate you as well, princess. It sounds weird to say on live stream. I had asked you a question a while back in which I followed all of your guidance and things were working out great. 2 dates in, you're 30 and he's 40, 1.5 months knowing each other, no pineapples. He would even get anxious based on my response rate. This is all good. As I don't stay glued to the phone. He knows I'm an in real life girly, giving him the best in-person experience with my enchantment. Oh, you've been listening. You've been listening, princess. You mentioned to continue being that way and do nothing extra, 100%, which I did. Okay, good. Now here comes a bump. And I'm guessing it's a test. I've watched your show on tests as well. So he hadn't planned a third date because he went away on a short trip and so did I. Okay. He said he would. He said he would like to see me when I'm back. He knows when I'm back since he asked for that info already before he left too. Okay, so he knows. I replied, sounds good. That's the last thing said. It's been 2 weeks of silence. He hasn't put any initiation. He hasn't put any initiation to schedule, even though I've been back. I said, so I did nothing, of course. I did not chase. I did not text him. He just lost momentum in his pursuit of me. I'm trying to understand the game of play here. From what I assessed, it seems like this is a test to see if I chase, to see if I put up with a disappearing and possibly reappearing act. I know when we only answer men when they come back with an actual plan, but would love to still hear your thoughts. In general, can you also let us know what time frame of a man not scheduling the next day deems him unworthy of our time? And know that we shouldn't ever let a man know that what triggers us early in the early stages. So do we only really let them know what bothers us during the relationship? Can you give examples? Okay, I'm glad you asked this question, Princess. This is a well thought out question. So in your specific situation, like you have been doing, like I said, to do nothing, because you already laid it out. And this funny thing, when you lay it out, it becomes very obvious. You already laid it out in many different ways, shapes, and forms, why he already has the important information to understand if he needs to, or to understand how to reach out to you. Okay, so he knows what your number is. He knows how to text you. He knows how to message you, and he knows that you're back. So this is, I wouldn't even say a test, but this is a sign to you. I know you went out on a few good dates and things like that, but this is a sign to you that maybe he's not as serious about you as you once imagined or as he tried to make it seem. Because all of a sudden he goes on a trip, he comes back, and what happened to all of this amazingness where he was so head over heels with you? You understand what I'm saying? And even more than just a game, I think it's a sign, because you should not have to remind him of your existence. You don't have to. He knows of your existence, so he's choosing actively not to message you. Okay? Whether it be because he's not that truly interested, or whether it be because he wants to see if you'll chase, either way, that's not going to work for you. So in terms of the timeline, because you're saying how long should I wait before I should just say it's whatever, I would honestly advise you should never text him, never call him, never reach out to him. If he reaches out to you and it's been more than a month, right? Even 3 weeks is pushing it. But for damn sure, if it's been more than a month and then he reaches out to you like, oh, my bad, I was on, my phone was dead for 1 month, right? And it's some sort of excuse like that, something really stupid, or just like I got caught up in work type of thing, basically just don't even message him back, because there's no point. You understand what I'm saying? If a guy can go from being that serious with you and saying, oh my God, let's build this, let's build that. Oh my God, I want to message you. I want to talk to you 24/7 all the time. And then he doesn't message you for a whole month. He's not that serious. So at that point, it doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what excuse he gives. It doesn't matter how much work he had piled up. Irrelevant. Clearly, he wasn't that interested in you. Okay. And so after that 1 month time frame, just ignore anything he has to say after that. Now, I know you sent this message a while ago, but hypothetically, if he were to come back, let's say the next day after he sent that message, I actually want you to hurt his feelings. I know this is going to sound toxic, but when he messages you again, I want you to say, and he's like, oh, I've been missing you. I've been loving spending time with you. I want you to say, who is this? Now, it sounds toxic, but I didn't tell you I was going to give you the healthiest of advice. I told you I would give you advice that would actually help you. Okay? I want you to say and respond, who is this? Because if he thinks that he can go in and out of your life and just pop back up, and you've been waiting for him, sitting around like watching paint dry, waiting for him to respond to you and want to go out on a date with you, I want you, when he tries to reach out to you, to give him that ego hit where he realizes, oh, she's actually not sitting around waiting for me to message her and take her out on a date. Actually, if I do some of this 2-week BS again, she's going to literally forget about me. That's very painful. And that realization will teach him that in the future, if he ever thinks about disappearing for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, he might message you one day and your line might be disconnected. because you ain't waiting around for a damn thing. Okay. And it's a very humbling experience for a guy to realize that the girl that they like is not going to sit around and wait around for them. And she will gladly move on from him. So that's my advice if he comes back within around the 2.5 week mark. But if it's more than a month, don't even answer. Waste of your time. Okay. Thank you so much, by the way, to Ivy, who sends $20 in the YouTube chat. She says, Tomisin, please do a show on when guys come back. Oh, I can definitely do that. And then she sends another $20 and she said the same thing. I'll definitely do that, Ivy. I can definitely do a whole show on when guys come back and the strategy to use there, because I definitely know that that's one thing. I'll put that on the docket because I definitely know that's one thing that you guys want. Okay, I'll remember that and I'll write it down. I think I had that in my notes even. So thank you for the reminder. Let's go on to the next question here. Benedi. Okay. Benedi. Please, Tomisin, this is urgent. Okay, Benedi, let's see. I've been talking with this guy for almost a month, and he used to live a few hours, like 2 hours, next to my city, but he relocated in Ireland, and he's coming back in August for vacation and me. Okay. Yes, it's a pen pal relationship. You're acknowledging that. Okay. Nice. At least you're honest. But he's been spoiling me, sending me Uber Eats. Okay, that's spoiling. And said he has multiple gifts for me when we meet in August. Okay, that's words. Okay, that doesn't mean he actually has gifts prepared for you. That's words. Sounds good in a Disney princess movie. He's been sweet to me, trying to get me to trust him and expressing to me that he wants something serious and long lasting with me. The thing is, he's been pressuring me to send nudes. What? I don't understand. I thought things were going so good, and he, like he wants to build something super long lasting. Not saying that that's a crime, but pressuring you doesn't sound like someone who's trying to build something long lasting. Let's continue. And take showers on phone call. So basically, he wants you to be a video chat vixen. Okay? He wants you to be a FaceTime freak where you're spreading your legs on video chat and you're showing him your squirtle. Or you're pulling down your pants to your ankles and you're showing him your dump truck, okay? So that he can wank himself off. This is not what building a serious, long-lasting relationship is about, okay? I understand he's horned up, okay? Being horned up is not a crime. But whenever you notice a guy is really, really pushing for that and the meetup actually hasn't happened, but it's about to happen, what's going to happen usually, I'm just going to be real with you, what usually happens is as soon as you finish pulling down your pants to your ankles and showing your dump truck off 1,000 times, he's going to wank himself off literally till he falls asleep for the next 3.5 weeks. Then when August finally comes, he's going to have some sort of excuse on why he couldn't pull up on you on August. And all of a sudden, the gifts are going to be waiting at his house, but just, he couldn't bring them because he couldn't come to see you in August and whatever the issue is. And what's going to happen is after August, he's going to give you another date in the future to look forward to, and then things are going to fizzle out. And by the end of it, he's going to have 30 to 40 pictures and videos of you, a whole album worth of your dump truck and your legs spread wide open and you twerking up a storm on video, right? He's going to have a whole album full of that on his phone and a whole bunch of wank material, and then he's not going to speak to you afterwards. Okay, so my advice to you is to cut this out. Okay, so if he's pressuring you for this, let him know, look, if this is what you're here for, not my cup of tea, and I'm probably going to stop talking to you altogether. And my honest advice to you would be to send him nothing until he comes and sees you in person. Because until he sees you in person, all this, I have multiple gifts for you when we meet in August, That's all BS. Okay, bunch of malarkey, bunch of chit chat, yibber yabber. He's yapping. Okay, he's just yapping. So don't pull your pants down to your ankles thinking that you showing your dump truck off on video chat is gonna help you get a better gift. Because I can assure you, more than likely, in a situation like this where you're a pen pal, there is no gift. The gift is him busting a nut all over his crusty sweater. That's the gift. Okay? So don't be mesmerized by what he's saying, thinking that, oh, you're warming it up for when you get all your gifts and your spoiled princess treatment in August. Okay? Wait for that to actually happen, then we can reevaluate what pictures and videos you send him. Does that make sense? Okay? I hope you learned from that. Okay? Next we have here, let's see. We're gonna do a bunch today, so just be aware, guys. I'm gonna try and get through a lot today. Next we have Love Forever, who says, my situation with Mr. American sales manager. Interesting. Love Forever says, hi Tomisin, I would like to share this story. Okay, I feel like I need to buckle in for this one. I just feel like this is gonna be something. I would like to share the story. While writing, I found the whole situation funny. I definitely will not make the same mistakes again. Oh, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. When you say same mistakes. 2 years ago, I started working at the front desk of a big company. There's a guy who's 32 who occasionally stops by to chat. I am 27, living in Norway, and had never dated before. At the beginning of 2024, I decided to explore dating. In January, he asked for my number and we started texting, okay? He mentioned that he travels a lot, but wanted to hang out when he's back in Norway. We did exchange some text and he tells me that he's not a texter and that he would like to hang out with me when he's in my town. Okay, that's good. At the end of February, he messaged me on the day he arrived asking if I wanted to do something. I had plans and questioned his vague phrasing. For 4 days, he kept asking to do something after work. Interesting. I wanted clarity, so I told him his approach was weak and asked what he meant. He said it was all good, that he wasn't interested. So it seems like he kind of wanted you to come up with the idea of what you guys do, almost like he wanted you to take the lead at that point. I was shocked and blocked him. Honestly, good for you. 2 weeks later, I unblocked him and texted him, why would you do that? I mean, unblocking him, cool, whatever. But why would you text him? And texted him after dreaming about him. Just say you were horned up if you were horned up. Don't see, I'm a real person, okay? Don't tell me, oh, I dreamed about him. What type of dream did you have? Just say you were horned up and you wanted to send him a message. You were having a little fantasy going on. You're horned up. You wanted to send him a message. Don't tell me I had a magical, fantastical dream about him and that's why. Let's be for real, okay? We resolved the situation and he promised a real date in June. You say we resolved the situation, but did we resolve the situation or did you resolve the situation for him? Just a question. June came and went without a word from him. I guess that's the answer. I deleted my WhatsApp profile to move on for good because I don't feel like this will go anywhere. You deleted your whole WhatsApp profile because you were that embarrassed. See, it's always better to leave with your dignity. You were so embarrassed you deleted your whole WhatsApp photo or profile. Since February, I've dated and made mistakes before watching your videos. Now I'm focused on myself and my health, confident the right one will come at me at the right time. Okay, good. My question is, how should I respond if he shows up at the front desk again? Or what should I do? Say it with me, chat. Do nothing. Do nothing. Do nothing. There's nothing left for you to do. You don't need to respond to him. You don't need to talk to him. You don't need to be friends with him. You don't need to be anything to him. If he comes to your front desk and he has a professional question about something work related, you answer his professional question in a professional manner with whatever the response is as it pertains to work. If he wants to start asking you questions about anything that doesn't pertain to work, you ignore him. Okay, he had his opportunity to speak to you and get to know you and build something with you. He wasted that opportunity. His opportunity is done. Doesn't matter how much he calls you. Doesn't matter how much he comes to the front desk. Doesn't matter how many questions he asks. Doesn't matter how much he texts you. His opportunity is done. You need to be that hard and harsh with people, like you need to be, for your own sanity and for your own peace of mind and for your own self-esteem. Because you see what happened to your not just your ego, but what happened to your mind. You were so embarrassed because you said we resolved the situation. You were so embarrassed that you made the effort of resolving the situation for him, only for him to completely go without a word and basically spit in your face. Okay. And that was so embarrassing for you that you deleted your whole WhatsApp profile. Okay. Right. To help you move on from that whole embarrassing situation. So I say that to say, do it for your own peace of mind where you just do nothing and you don't give him another opportunity. Okay. Thank you for your hard work and meaningful videos. Over the last 6 months, I've grown a lot better in my understanding of men. I'm proud of myself and grateful to you and everyone who helped me become the best version of myself. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. I want people to know that even if a relationship doesn't work out, there's always something to learn, which helps us become the best version of ourselves for the right person. I 100% agree with you, love forever. And I think you're on the right track. Obviously, you made some mistakes with that one guy, but I think you're on the right track. And as it relates to him, I think the best advice for you is to literally do nothing. And I don't think that there's anything left for you in that relationship. I think on multiple occasions, he's shown you that when it comes down to actually building anything with you, he's not actually there to build anything with you. He literally just wants to yap with you. And he's hoping that maybe you'll be desperate enough that you'll say, hey, please come over to my house, use me, let me spread my legs open for you, jackrabbit yourself inside of me for 90 seconds, and then go home and never speak to me again. He's actually hoping maybe you're that desperate that you'll ask for that. He can use you and then go about his day. But if you're not going to make it that easy for him, he literally wants nothing to do with you. So don't even waste your time. Okay. Next we have, let's see. Scroll. Next we have Reina, or is it Reina? I think it's pronounced Reina. Reina, who says, how can I get my friends with benefits back? Reina, I think you're going to be disappointed in my answer. Let's read. Okay, let's see what you say. Hi, I'm 21 years old and I'm a woman who recently broke up with my 2-year relationship narcissistic ex. Why does this question start off talking about a narcissistic ex, and in your title, you're talking about how can I get my friends with benefits back? I hope for your sake, Reina, you're not telling me you want back a narcissistic ex as a friends with I hope to God that is not what you're about to ask me in this message. I'm going to lose my mind if that's what you're going to ask me. I'm going to lose my mind. So yeah, my life has been pretty crazy since then, but I was looking for a rebound. Thank God. So I added a guy back on Snapchat. Oh God. Why do they do this to me? Every time I try to give them advice on what they shouldn't do, they do the wrong thing anyways. Okay. Give me strength. It's already a rebound. Okay, I get it. You know, you're sad about your narcissistic ex. You want a rebound. Why? What? Okay, chat, please explain to me, because I think that I'm confused. Why are you using Snapchat as a dating app? Please, someone explain to me why Snapchat gets used as a dating app. You can't see their pictures. There's no profile. People usually don't even have their names on their profile. All you have to go by is their Bitmoji, which is not even a digital, it's literally a stupid characterized version of them that they can create, which doesn't even represent what they actually look like. Why are people using Snapchat as a dating app? Someone has to explain this to me. Someone has to explain this to me. I do not understand this concept. You don't know him. You've never met him. You don't know his real name. You don't even know what he looks like because it's Snapchat. I don't get it. The truth is he's handsome. How would you know that? It's Snapchat. And I just wanted to F him for one night. Reina, okay, you're horned up. Cool. But what is effing a random man for one night actually going to do for you? I seen a really great comment the other day, I think it was yesterday actually, on one of my YouTube videos where a woman, she was thanking the show and this experience that she's had watching the show because it's helped her be so much more intentional with everything that she does, especially as it relates to relationships. My question to you, Reina, is why are you so unintentional about your life that you're only thinking about short-term pleasure to the point where you just want to F a man for one night, have pineapples with him for one night, and you're not even forward thinking enough to yourself to say, what is the actual end goal there? What am I actually going to extract from that experience? Because the reality of it is, you're going to F him, you're going to have pineapples with him, he's going to jackrabbit himself inside of you for 90 seconds, probably even less, okay? Probably even less. You're going to stare up at the ceiling, right? You're going to count ceiling tiles. He's going to bust a nut. He's going to small chat with you, and then he's going to be on his way. What are you actually going to extract from that experience other than trauma? These are part of the things you need to be thinking about when you're making decisions for yourself. Is this a short-term decision that doesn't serve me in the long run? Or is this a long-term decision that actually will serve me in the long run for the rest of my life? Just so I could feel wanted. So we've identified that this is absolutely a short-term decision just for a short-term feeling, which you're not even actually going to feel. You're not going to feel that. You're literally, the 90 seconds that he's jackrabbiting himself inside you are the only 90 seconds you're even going to remotely feel wanted. After he busts a nut, you're going to realize it was all fake and a facade, and it was just because he was horned up. So even though you might feel wanted for 90 seconds or less, by the time the 90 seconds is over, you're going to feel so guilty and so shameful, right? Because you'll realize he didn't actually want you. He just wanted to jackrabbit himself inside of you and use you and discard of you and throw you in the trash as if you were a crumpled up piece of paper. That's not going to make you feel good. In fact, it's actually going to make you feel even worse than you did when you started. I don't know if you realize that. He invited me to come over to his house, and the night was fun and all. Cool. I'm sure it's fun before he smashes. Let's see what happens. Short, but fun. And I know he's an F-boy. What do you... Please give Reina some intelligence. I beg of you. Please. Please. The universe and the world needs to bestow on Reina just a smidgen of intelligence. Because what on earth are you doing? What are you doing? You want to feel wanted by an F-boy? Where has your brain gone? Where has your brain gone? And def not relationship material. So what is the point? What I'm gonna get so mad. I already know. What is the actual point? What is the actual point of anything you're doing here? But I don't care. I just want friends with benefits on the low. And I made sure he knew that I wasn't interested in a relationship or anything at the moment. I really dislike everything you just said for multiple reasons. Because you just let a guy know, I will give my mind, body, and soul to you for nothing. You can have that for free. I just want to have fun. But you know what's actually not fun? Is being traumatized by the fact that someone is literally using you that doesn't give a rat's behind about you. That's not fun. That's actually traumatizing. And I tell you all this all the time, and I'm going to tell this specifically to Reina. You're going to come to the realization that it does not serve you or behoove you to try and outdo the men at the men's game. Do not try to be more like a man who you sleep with people thinking that you're not going to be attached to them and thinking that you're just going to have fun and enjoy yourself and then move on with your life. You are not a man. That's actually a good thing. I want you to be you. Be the woman that you are. And the truth of the matter is, as a woman, just the way that things are, you're receiving that man into you. There's something really intimate, emotional, and spiritual about that experience. You will never, ever be able to differentiate that experience from your feelings of attachment towards the man who you're consistently sleeping with. Get rid of the idea you're just going to have fun with no feelings or attachment. Because the reality of it is, the more fun you continue to have, the more you're going to want this to be ongoing and grow into something real. The problem is when you've been offering to a man your entire mind, body, and soul for free, and then you ask him to pay a premium subscription for it, meaning that you ask him to be in a serious relationship with you, he's going to laugh in your face. He's going to think you're joking because he's going to say, why would I pay a premium subscription for something I've been getting for free? It does not make sense for him. This is the type of stuff where I need you guys to realize the monumental mistake that you're making when you do this. Because I know you're thinking, oh, I just got out of a relationship, so I'm not going to look for anything serious. I'm just going to have fun. What you're doing is you're actually, instead of healing, instead of working through the situation, instead of putting some energy back into yourself, you were just in a relationship with a narcissist. Instead of finally taking back some of that energy that your ex drained from you. You're actively taking that energy that you could have finally invested back inside you, and you're just taking it and investing it into a new guy. What an absolute waste of time. What an absolute waste. When you finally got the opportunity to think about you and invest in you, you chose to invest that time and energy into someone else. And the reason I know that you're doing that is because rather than taking that time period after your ex to say, no, I need time for me, and then when I'm ready to be in a relationship, I will be in a relationship, you're saying, no, I don't want time for me. I want time to distract myself from having to pay attention to me, and I want to distract myself by having cheap fun with no attachment. Very sad. The guy is very smart, so I am aware of all his games and stuff, but that's my problem. No, your problem is that you're making horrible decisions while knowing you're making horrible decisions. I don't want to be seen as a game. What are you talking about? You just said you want friends with benefits with no attachment, and you're letting him know, I just want no friends with benefits with no attachment. You're helping him play the game. Okay, whatever. I just want him naked on my bed every now and then and nothing else. See, this is part of the problem. You think that you're being more like the guys. I'm going to do what the guys do. I don't want the attachment. I just want to sleep with you and use your body like a guy would and not be attached to you. You're trying to sound more like a guy. You're trying to embody more masculine energy like a guy would. I want to do like the men do. Be you. You're a woman. This doesn't work for you how you're imagining it's going to work for you. but he treats me like all the other girls. Oh, magic. Magic. It's magic. You just finished saying how you just want him in your bed, you want his body and nothing else. Now, all of a sudden, you're mentioning how he treats you like he treats the other girls. Why does that matter? I thought you only wanted his body. I thought you only wanted to sleep with him. I thought you only wanted friends with benefits. What happened to that? What happened to you being just like the guys? It doesn't matter to you, right? You don't care about anything else except for how he sleeping with him every now and again. What happened to no emotion? What happened to just having fun? What happened to nothing else matters? Congratulations. Congratulations, Reina. You've played yourself. Congratulations. Like one time I waited a week to snap him, and if he can pick me up to, do stuff, and he replied with, no, I can't. So I accepted it. Then 3 days later, I asked him again if he had plans for tonight, and he laughed and again said he couldn't see me. Reina, this is very pathetic. I'm going to be super real with you. I have to be harsh with you because you need this. This is very pathetic. Very pathetic. So I took a step back and ignored him. Now he sends me snaps of himself or that he is at some place. He's literally rubbing it in your face that he doesn't want you. This is very embarrassing for you. He's rubbing it in your face by sending you snaps that I literally would rather do anything else than spend time with you, even if it's just to sleep with you. That's how useless you are to him. You can't Wow. You can't even be a pineapple doll for him to utilize for pleasure. He doesn't even find you that fascinating. And one time he said something over the chat, and then 3 hours later when I opened it, the chat, he deleted it. Cool. So this guy is playing games with me, and I'm so tired of it, I just want pineapple time. Yeah, he's playing games because he likes to be able to have so much control over you that you're desperate to go sleep with him. And see, this is what I try to help you guys understand this, is that a lot of you sometimes think that, oh yeah, guys are only messaging me necessarily because they want to sleep with me. But what I'm also trying to help you guys understand, sometimes guys will message you just for the simple ego boost they receive from recognizing that they still have control over you. So it seems like this guy has transitioned into, he's not even necessarily that interested in sleeping with you. He just likes exercising his control over you. So he just likes messaging you to mess with you and remind himself that you are so desperate for him that you will do anything for him. You'll answer his messages. And if he ever wanted you to come over, you'd come over in a heartbeat because you're desperate. And he enjoys the feeling of control he has over you to the point where he doesn't even need to sleep with you. His ego is already satisfied by having the emotional control over you. I'm just telling you the truth. And now he posts all over his story that he is outside or at a festival to look interesting on IG. Well, I think this one is a little bit of you projecting. You think it's more about you than it actually is. I just think he doesn't care about you. And the only time he cares about you is when he can, give himself a ego boost and stroke. Because I told you, it makes their D hard when they can exercise their control over you. So when he wants to get his D hard and wank himself off, he exercises his control over you by manipulating you and making you show him how desperate you are. And it gets him hard. He wanks himself off and then he moves on. He doesn't need you. Okay. I'm talking about like an emotional wank off. You know what I mean? Where he gets the satisfaction of knowing how much you need him. Why are guys like this? I just said it. Now, look, I am not in love with this man. I just want him in my bed. So what's the next step? It's funny that you say you just want him in your bed. But how come you said earlier that he treats you just like all the other girls? It's funny. Quite funny. Should I just ghost him? Because I've been thinking about deleting him, but that seems weird. Why does that seem weird? To have boundaries seems weird. To not be a yes girl seems weird. You see what happens when you put yourself in these really precarious situations, you now think it's weird to have a boundary. That's crazy. You think it's weird to say to yourself, I'm not going to sleep with people casually just for the sake of sleeping with them. That's insane that you've gone to that level. Or should I play games with him? And then what should I do? Contrary to what people might think when we enter the Players Club, I actually advise against you playing games. What is the purpose of this? You're not going to be in a relationship with him. You're not going to build anything with him. And it's probably the pineapples you're having with him probably isn't that interesting, fascinating, or life-changing anyways. And it definitely for sure won't be if he's this little invested in you, because he won't even be doing his best job. You won't even be getting his best stroke game. So what's the point of any of this? Just to waste your time? No, the actual point for you is to do anything else other than investing some time and energy and focus into you. That's the purpose in this for you. You would rather get used, mistreated, abused, disrespected by a man than ever spending some time focusing on yourself. And that's very tragic. Send a cute pic or something. Oh my God. It is so pathetic how low you have stooped. Pathetic. That you think the answer to a guy who's ignoring you and doesn't even care enough about you to sleep with you, the answer is to send him a cute pic or something. Oh my God. Have you not recognized how little self-respect you have already? And you're still thinking about how you can do more. Please, for me, even if you're not going to do it for yourself, please stop. Please. I'm begging you to stop. Stop. I actually think he has another chick, but at the same time, I think he has no one and just wanted to make me look like he has all the girls and stuff. Make it look like he has all the girls and stuff. What should I do? Not sure if he wants me or he's just playing with me. It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't. It doesn't matter because you're not building anything with him. So what is the point? Oh my God, my brain hurts. My brain hurts so bad. I'm gonna need a massage after this. My brain actually hurts. What is the purpose of anything you're doing here, Reina? When you already identified he's an F-boy, you already identified he's definitely not relationship material. Why are you spending your time invested in a man who you're not going to be building a relationship with? Why are you even interested in giving your body, mind, and soul to a man you're not going to build a relationship with? Do you not realize how pointless this is? You have just taken time out of your day to send me a question about a man who probably doesn't even know your last name. I want that to really soak in. This man probably doesn't even know your last name. And he probably spends 0 minutes and 0 seconds thinking about you throughout the day. And you have sent me a message on what the strategy should be to get his attention. I'm sorry to tell you, there is no strategy to get a guy's attention who is not interested in you, Reina. And I need you to realize that so that you can actually save yourself. You need to save yourself. And if I don't share with you this information, I fear that you will continue wasting your time. You're 21, which sounds about right for the message that you sent. But I can assure you at 21 years old, your life is still very valuable. While you might be young, I want you to be really stingy with your time and energy. You've already got 2 years of your life wasted by a narcissistic ex who probably drained you a lot emotionally. And it seems like rather than giving some of this time back to yourself, dedicated to you, you just want to drain yourself emotionally some more. Stop. Get a grip and button yourself up, stand up straight, and take back your life. Stop investing it in boys who this guy doesn't even want you, doesn't care about you. He doesn't think about you. Stop thinking about him. I want you to stop dating overall. I want you to stop seeing people. I want you to stop messaging people. And I want you to spend at least 6 months of your life dedicated to only you, no one else. Go celibate for 6 months and do things for only you. Don't message a single guy. Don't Snapchat a single guy. Don't do nothing with guys. Don't go on dates, nothing. So that you can finally take back just a smidgen of your life and give some of this energy and focus back to yourself instead of guys who don't care about you. Okay? That's my advice to you, Reina. And I really mean that. Next we have here, let's see. Need help. Need help says, help, should I leave him alone? Okay. What's going on? Need help says, so I met this guy at the side of the road. What? This is how the question starts? I met this guy at the side of the road. Wow. While coming from a class. He plans dates and pays for them. He's very wealthy. You are coming from a class, so you said he's very wealthy. So I'm assuming this is not someone that goes to the school. It's just a random adult on the side of the street. He has a wife and 3 kids, 10, 7, and 8. So yeah. Wow. 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 It just you all never cease to amaze me. Never cease. Cool. So you met him on the side of the road and he's got a wife and 3 kids. Let's continue. Every time I ask for money, it's an excuse. Maybe I'll see. Maybe he's saving up for his kids' college tuition. Maybe he's got a birthday of one of his kids coming up. Maybe his wife's birthday is coming up. Maybe his kids need braces and he's got to save up money for that. Maybe he doesn't have work insurance. Maybe his kids need new shoes or new back to school clothes. Or he's got to buy back to school supplies for his kids. Why do you think, I'm trying to like keep my composure here. Why do you think that you should ever be the priority to a man who has a wife and 3 kids? You will never be the priority to a man who has a wife and 3 kids. So why are you complaining about not being his priority? You were never going to be. Today, I decided to tell him I was hungry as a joke, and I told him I was by my auntie house. We called. He said he'll never. He said he'll see. He never responded, or called me back after 2 p.m. to see if I actually have eaten. Is this like? Are you really asking me this question? If you want a sugar daddy, just go get a sugar daddy. You do realize like there's sugar daddies that will pay you that are single, that you don't have to worry about competing for time with his family. Why are you doing this with a guy who has a family? You're always going to be competing for his time, and he's never going to be readily available to you all the time. So if you know that you just want to get paid and just get money, then first of all, you know what? I won't even say that. If you know that you just want to get paid and get money from a guy, then do it with a guy who doesn't have a family so that he can actually focus on you. If that's what you want. Because it doesn't seem like you're interested in any of real relationship here. It doesn't sound like it. It just seems like you're focused on money and him giving you things and paying for things, which is fine if that's how you want to live your life. We are supposed to go out of town on Friday. Should I go out of town with him? I'm not sure what you're trying to extract here. do you want a relationship or do you just want money? It seems like you just want money. Why does it matter if you go out of town? Just ask him for money when you want money. What's going out of town supposed to do? Unless he's going to pay you. Seems like you just want money. So tell him, I'm only going out of town if I get money. Just keep your focus on money. But my advice to you is, if you love money this much, just go find a sugar daddy that will just give you money and you don't have to do any of this extra stuff. Because why are you playing house with a man who already has a whole house and a whole family? Doesn't make sense. Why are you being... Whatever. Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't really respond to his messages until like 5 hours later. Is that supposed to be a flex? Okay. He is quite consistent with messaging me, but today he didn't text me. Yeah, maybe his kid's sick. Yeah, maybe he's got to take his kids to some appointments, some doctor's appointments today. Yeah, maybe he's got a whole bunch of stuff to take care of in his family. Bills. Yeah. Responsibilities. Yeah. Right? Have you ever, you know those? Right? When you're a man that takes care of a family, you got those things. So he probably can't text you back all day. You know, if he's laying in bed with his wife and his kids, he's not going to be on the phone texting you. Do you think he's going to text you while his wife's right beside him? Like, let me be nice. Use your brain. He can't message you all the time. I'm not even encouraging this, but he can't message you all the time when he's with his family. Like, what are you thinking here? Back after 2 p.m., should I leave him alone? Actually, yes, please. If you want, if the only thing you take out of this is this, yes, please leave him alone. It doesn't serve you or him what you're doing. And I can assure you, nothing good is going to come from this. Literally nothing. You might get some money from it. Other than that, literally nothing is going to come from this. The amount of time and investment you'll have to put in to get any amount of money here consistently would be less than if you just put that same amount of time and energy into getting a job. Okay? Not to diss you, but like, you're not going to extract that much money from him that it actually becomes becomes more efficient use of your time than getting a job. Unless you had a sugar daddy that was literally paying you like $2,000-$3,000 a week, unless it's that, you're not going to be making enough money for the investment you're putting into the relationship. If you're trying to extract money, if you actually broke it down on an hour basis, based on how much you're making per hour, it would be more efficient use of your time to just get a job than to be trying to constantly extract money from him based on how much time you're investing in this, if you're thinking of it like a job. So that's why I say that it doesn't even serve you in that sense, because the more efficient use of your time would just be getting a job. Whatever job you want to get, because it seems like you just want the money. That's not a crime, but that's what it seems like, right? So I'm trying to help you get more money faster. It's only been 3 weeks since we met, and I'm not really into him, emotionally not connected. Yeah, shocker. I'm shocked that you're not really emotionally connected to him. I'm shocked that most of why you're here is to get money. I'm not even going to say that you're wrong for that. I'll help you get money. But what I will say is, if you're serious about your money, get serious about your money. Start breaking down, how much time am I investing in this guy versus how much money am I extracting from him? If you break it down on an hourly basis and you realize you're getting paid less than minimum wage, that literally means you would get more money by going to work at McDonald's than you are by investing your time and energy into a man that you don't like. So that tells you this is actually a waste of your time, not an investment in your life. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So if you really know that you love having a sugar daddy that much and that's so important to you and that's how you want to live your life, listen, I'm not here to tell you the difference between right and wrong. If that's what you want, perfectly fine. But go find you a sugar daddy, right, that can actually spend all his time, attention on you because he's single and will pay for everything. And then when you break down your hourly wage, you'll actually be making more than minimum wage. And it'll actually make sense for you to be talking to a guy who's paying you. Are you following what I'm saying? Like, if you about your money, that's fine, but then actually be about your money. Because what are you doing if you're not actually about your money, but you're in relationships for money? This isn't even a relationship, but you're in a whatever ship for money. If you're in this for money, then be about money. And seems like you're not really getting money. You're just getting headaches and you're just getting confusion. So what's the point now? Move on with your life. I don't know, chat. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. You know, I maybe I don't have a grasp on life. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys got some value out of that. I know we had some doozies here in the Discord. If you didn't get a chance to get your question answered in the Discord, don't fret, don't fear. I will be here answering questions every show that we do on the Discord. And if you want to know how to send in your question, go ahead and on TikTok, you just go into the link in my bio on my main profile and you send in your question on there. And if you're on YouTube, just go into the link in the description where you can send in your question on there. For those of you who love me so much and you want to know more about me and you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is right above my head on the left top right of the screen. Sorry, on the left top right. On the left top side of the screen, top left of the screen, where you can find my Instagram. You can follow me there, scroll through my profile and see everything I've been doing until I sat in this chair in front of you today. And it's also available for you guys on the bottom right of the screen if you're on YouTube. For those of you who are on TikTok and you want to get access to this live show because you missed some parts, you can always get access to this live show on my YouTube because I'm live on TikTok and YouTube at the exact same time. So just type in my name on YouTube or copy and paste my name onto YouTube. And when you find my profile, just go into the live section where you'll be able to see this live show along with all the other live shows that I've ever done, and you'll have the YouTube chat and the TikTok chat. The YouTube chat and the TikTok chat in the show embedded in the video, so that you'll be able to follow along with everything that is going on in the show as I'm discussing. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'm here every weekday, Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to figure out what time that is in your time zone, it is just use Google. So I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Obviously tomorrow's Saturday, but I will be here on Monday. And obviously on my YouTube, I be posting even on the weekend as well. So be on the lookout for that as well. All right. Until we meet again, have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe. Have a good time. Enjoy yourself. Try not to enjoy yourself too much. Okay. Get yourself a tool or a toy if you want. If you know you got urges that can't be controlled. I'll see you later on Monday where we will join each other for another talk of love, life, and relationships. Until then, hasta la vista, goodbye, arrivederci, au revoir, sayonara, adios. I see you, Jazz. Okay, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye for now. Bye for now.